today's news, new law will fine parents $500 for yelling at their kids. Trump says Putin has gone absolutely crazy. Trump defends move to block international students from attending Harvard. A teacher faces more than a $500 fine after an 11-year-old Florida boy took his own life after months of alleged relentless verbal abuse from the teacher.
Y'all, this story is totally and completely unacceptable. So an 11-year-old boy out of Florida took his own life after he was allegedly bullied by a female teacher constantly. She reportedly said horrible things to him.
Luis Johnson shot himself with a 9mm handgun on April 27, 2023, after enduring what a lawsuit describes as systematic psychological torture at Legacy Elementary School in Ocala, Marion County. The weapon belonged to his father, who had left it unattended on the kitchen counter after returning from work. Luis died 2 days later in the hospital. But what exactly happened in that classroom? The lawsuit alleges that former 5th grade teacher Donna White repeatedly called Luis stupid and subjected him to other verbal abuse. How does a professional educator's behavior escalate to such cruelty?
The lawsuit says that she consistently ridiculed him in front of his peers for months. She would also allegedly recruit other students to join in on the bullying and ask other students to agree with her horrible comments towards him.
The systematic nature of the abuse is particularly disturbing. White didn't just bully Luis herself. She allegedly encouraged other students to participate in the harassment, creating a toxic classroom environment where a child became the target of coordinated psychological assault. This wasn't occasional harsh criticism. This was sustained, deliberate cruelty designed to humiliate. The warning signs were there. Luis's mental distress manifested in physical symptoms, including suicidal thoughts, crying, depression, anxiety, sleeplessness, nightmares, embarrassment, anguish, and fear. His parents, Tyka and Luis Johnson Sr., weren't silent observers. They complained directly to the school district about their son's suffering. But here's where the system failed catastrophically. Despite being made aware of the bullying and horrible comments, the Marion County School Board allowed the teacher to continue these actions for at least 3 to 4 months before Luis's death. The district refused to work with the parents to set up meetings and took no meaningful action to protect the child.
The parents reportedly complained directly to the school district about what the child was going through, but the district nor the school would work with them to set up meetings, and of course they took no action. Why am I not surprised?
The legal consequences are now unfolding. Luis's parents are seeking $75,000 in damages in a wrongful death lawsuit, including funeral expenses, attorney fees, and compensation for their mental pain and suffering. They've also requested a jury trial, seeking accountability from a system that failed their son. What happened to the teacher? The school district decided not to renew Donna White's contract. After an investigation following her initial 5-day suspension, the school board found that her actions violated the school's anti-harassment policy, and she had one prior disciplinary issue before Luis's death. A GoFundMe has been created in Luis's honor, remembering him as the youngest of 4 siblings with immense potential and promise. In his free time, he loved to catch crab, make TikTok recipes, go to the beach, and advocate for the homeless. This was a child with dreams, compassion, and a future that was stolen from him. Next up, President Donald Trump called Vladimir Putin absolutely crazy, following Russia's largest aerial attack on Ukraine, marking one of Trump's strongest public criticisms of Putin in recent memory. The catalyst? A devastating 3-night assault involving over 900 drones and missiles, with the largest single attack using 367 projectiles, killing at least 12 people, including 3 children in Zhytomyr.
We have breaking news. Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social with a sharp message about Vladimir Putin. Trump said, quote, "I've always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin, but something has happened to him. He has gone absolutely crazy."
Trump's Truth Social post didn't mince words. Something has happened to him, Putin. He has gone absolutely crazy. At Morristown, New Jersey airport, the president expanded on his concerns. "I don't know what's wrong with him. What the hell happened to him, right? He's killing a lot of people. I'm not happy about that." The scale of devastation that prompted Trump's response cannot be understated. The attacks targeted multiple regions, including Khmelnytsky, where 7 cruise missiles hit a military airbase, and Odessa, where a 14-year-old boy was injured. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky described the barrage as Putin's political choice, no military sense, calling for full-scale pressure, everything that can be done to limit their military capability. But Trump's response reveals a complex diplomatic dance. While publicly condemning Putin's actions, the president is simultaneously considering new sanctions on Russia and engaging in behind-the-scenes diplomacy. A 2-hour phone call between Trump and Putin the previous week discussed a U.S. proposed ceasefire deal, with Trump expressing optimism for immediate negotiations toward ending the war. The Kremlin's response reflects this diplomatic complexity. Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov attributed Trump's criticism to emotional overload, while simultaneously expressing gratitude to the Americans and personally to President Trump for help in organizing organizing and launching the negotiation process. This dual approach, harsh public criticism paired with private diplomatic engagement, represents a significant shift in Trump's Putin strategy. The president, who previously maintained he had always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin, now acknowledges that something has happened to him while still pursuing peace negotiations.
He's a lone wolf commando with a heart of gold, using smarts, superhuman strength, and lots of bullets to stop wars before they start.
The international implications are profound. European leaders have expressed disappointment over Trump's engagement with Putin, viewing it as potentially undermining unified Western support for Ukraine. Yet Trump's willingness to balance criticism with diplomacy may represent the only path toward de-escalation. The Kremlin's justification for the attacks, retaliation for Ukrainian strikes on Russia's social infrastructure, adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. Next up, President Trump threatened to redirect $3 billion in research grant funding from Harvard to trade schools, escalating a bitter dispute that has already seen over $2 billion in federal funding frozen and international students banned from enrollment. The conflict erupted when Harvard rejected 10 sweeping demands from Trump's task force to combat anti-Semitism, including reforms in governance, hiring, admissions, and specifically targeting international students. Harvard President Alan Garber argued these demands were unlawful and infringed upon the university's independence and constitutional rights. The administration's demands paint a picture of total institutional transformation. By August 2025, Harvard was ordered to cease all race-based preferences in hiring and admissions, screen international students for those hostile to American values, report violations to DHS, shut down all DEI programs, and ban recognition of groups promoting violence. But Harvard's defiance came at a steep price. The administration immediately froze $2.2 billion in grants and $60 million in contracts, with additional cuts of $450 million reported in May 2025. The latest threat to redirect $3 billion represents the nuclear option in this academic warfare. Trump's Truth Social post was characteristically blunt. "I am considering taking $3 billion of grant money away from a very anti-Semitic Harvard and giving it to trade schools all across our land. The human cost is already devastating." Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem terminated Harvard's Student and Exchange Visitor Program certification, prohibiting new foreign student enrollment and requiring current international students to transfer to maintain visa status. This affects approximately 7,000 international students, 27% of Harvard's enrollment.
We're certainly feeling pretty nervous, and it's been a dream for me to come from a small town in Taiwan all the way to Harvard.
So it's pretty chaotic, and I don't know what's going to happen next.
Families are described as completely frantic due to the uncertainty, while the academic toll mounts. The T.H. Chan School of Public Health has begun laying off employees and making budget cuts, impacting research on critical health issues like tuberculosis and multiple sclerosis. Harvard's legal counteroffensive has been swift and comprehensive. The university has launched multiple lawsuits against the federal government, arguing these actions are illegal and harmful. Professors at Harvard and other universities have also sued, alleging unlawful attacks on freedom of speech and academic freedom. The ripple effects extend far beyond Cambridge. Other elite universities, including Princeton, Cornell, and Northwestern, are also facing funding pauses, suggesting a broader assault on higher education institutions deemed insufficiently compliant. Public opinion remains sharply divided. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik called for cutting all U.S. taxpayer funding to Harvard, while critics argue the administration's actions threaten the foundation of academic freedom that has made American universities global magnets for talent. Media coverage has highlighted potential opportunities for countries like India amid this crisis, as international students and their families reconsider America as an educational destination. The stakes couldn't be higher. This battle represents more than funding disputes or enrollment policies. It's a fundamental test of whether America's premier educational institutions can maintain their independence in the face of unprecedented federal pressure. With legal battles ongoing and billions in funding hanging in the balance, the outcome will reshape higher education for generations to come. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.